Like if you ever saw a guy in army fatigues, he's pulling over, so he sees a guy, he makes a U-E in the middle of the street, he's talking to this guy, and he recognized the platoon that the guy was from. Man, I know, did you know what? Yeah, I know him and then there. So the guy was down on his luck, and my father we had like 5 double cheeseburgers left. My father had $20. And in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? I'm gonna eat that later. When y'all go to sleep, after everybody get there, I'm gonna eat, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, selfish at this point. Like you finally get some change. I get to stop eating army crackers and army cheese. This is my food. So he gives the guy the food, and he gets in the car and he slams the door, and he got a little tear in his eye, and he just looks and says, if you ever make, and like I remember these words, if you ever make it big time, make sure you help those in need. And then on Thanksgiving, he would go to the barracks, round up the troops, and we'd have blankets, we have all the army rations that they were getting ready to throw away, whatever we can, Spam, peanut butter, bread, give it to the homeless people. So those are 3 things that I do today because of what a man that made $30,000 a year taught me. From a woman who was a secretary, probably made $20,000 a year. They taught me that. So, a lot of people, when they look at me and the charities that I do, this is from the heart. Like sometimes when I see people doing charities, I could tell they're just doing it for the moment. Like for example, whenever it's a hurricane relief thingy, people who you never see do anything, all of a sudden they just pop up and they're tweeting about it. Like I tell people all the time, I do a lot of stuff seen and unseen. Like it doesn't matter to me if you know that I just fed 10,000 homes. That I'm doing this because this was what I was taught. I'm doing it because to walk in there and see a family put a smile on their face for a day, that's just awesome to me.
Kobe was a beast. Nobody worked harder than him. But I think you can find success in many ways. For me, I had 8 hours of work, 8 hours of business, 8 hours of family. See, Kobe was just getting married, getting to his family. I'm already 4 kids in. So after I put in my 2-3 hours of work, now I have to be daddy. Now I have to be husband. Now I have to take care of business. And mentally, I'm so strong, I don't need to work out for these bums anyway. That's what I'm thinking. So, I think it would have been a better question if we'd have no championships, no MVPs, and I would have been an absolute familiar. But the resume you just read, that was a hell of a resume, sir.
It's a hell of a resume. You can't question that.
I'll take it. No, because, coming from a disciplinary, my father was a drill sergeant, and I understand you're military, but wasn't allowed to talk back, wasn't allowed to be afraid, wasn't allowed to make excuses. So whatever I put my mind to, I had to get it accomplished or else. And, even though I was a professional making a lot of money, I still had that mentality that if I don't get this done, I'm going to get in trouble by my father. And I never wanted to get in trouble by my father, so I always, did things a certain way. First word he taught me was honor. Make sure you honor yourself in a certain way. Make sure you honor your family. Second word he taught me is respect. Doesn't matter that I make this much and you make that much. I'm not better than you. You respect the man as a man. You respect the woman as a woman. Last thing he taught me was dignity and pride. Walk up, head up high. You're tall, you're doofy, you're clumsy, but that's okay. One day you're going to be the greatest. So all these things. And he also taught me charity. I always tell this charity story. One day he got some extra money, and he came in the house. Said, let's go get something to eat, big man. Now keep in mind when I say get something to eat, it's not a sit-down restaurant. It's White Castle. White Castle, we got any White Castle fans? So he gets 6 double cheese, and I get 6 double cheese, and we couldn't finish them. And on the way home, we see a sign, homeless guy will work for food. So my dad pulls over, and I'm upset. I'm like, hey man, why are you giving them? Shut up. Yes, sir. So he's sitting there talking to the guy, and he has a tear in his eye because same way I feel today. When I'm riding around and I see homeless people, that just hurts my heart. It really does. Like I wish I had the answer to fix all homelessness around all the world. So he had a tear in his eye. And he said, You know, he always used to call me big man. He said, big man, if you ever make it someday and you can help somebody in need, make sure you help somebody. So that's always stuck with me. So every charitable thing I do, I would like to get credit, but it was just things that I was taught from my mom and dad when I was Dylan's age, young age.
Josh is asking that as somebody who started accumulating money at a very young age, what advice would you give to young people about the need to accumulate money earlier? Is there anything that you did wrong in the early years that you would advise people to avoid?
I did a lot of things wrong. May I have a piece of paper?
I'm sorry, sir.
May I have a piece of paper? Blank sheet of paper. Can I rip it?
Go ahead.
All right. Children, young guys coming to a lot of money. This is $100. What you want to do is you want to rip the 100 in half. 50. Save it. Don't even touch it. Invest. Put it away. Don't even look at it. Now you got 50 left. Now the smart people, the real smart people, the billionaires of the world, they'll take half of that 50, put all that away. This right here, have fun. You want to buy houses, you want to buy cars, you want to buy planes, you want to travel. This right here is what you have fun with. This right here is what you need for when you retire. So you invest, you put it away, you save it, you don't touch it. This is the house money. This is what you play with.
So I have two different conversations. I have 3 daughters and I have 3 sons. 3 sons, when you're 18, get out. Get out. Now, while you're out, better get 1 degree, 2 degrees before you come messing with me. Like, I'm not just gonna be funding stuff because you wanna do it. I did to them like somebody did to me. When they turned 18, I went to the bank because I spent $1 million in one day, and the guy gave me a book, The Dummy's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. I gave them all the same book. And I said, here you go. You're a man now, make a decision, but if you ever wanna come mess with me, I need 1 or 2 degrees. Now the ladies are a little different. Hey baby, you can stay as long as you want. Love you, sweetheart, no boys, don't worry about getting married. And you know, the conversation I had with my 6 children, I said, look, we don't need another basketball player. Your daddy's crazy. You don't need to be like me. I need a hedge fund operator, I need a CEO, I need something else. So, I don't like using these words, but I have 6 perfect children. I don't have any problems. One is an executive marketer for Pepsi. She already has her bachelor's. Another one has his bachelor's. He's good looking like me. He's a model. My youngest son is in the G League, and I got 2 in college, and I got 1 left in high school. Then I'll be done. I would say learn the market, learn from your failures, never repeat your failures, work with people that are smarter than you, listen, and mentally know you're the best. If you mentally know you're the best, no one can compete with you. No, me and the boss man he asked me a question, Shaq, there's some guys that have to make 200 calls and then there's other guys that have to make 60 calls. And I said, I really don't want to answer that question because I don't want to lead people down the wrong path, but I can say the ones that are mentally strong always get the job done and always get it done to the capacity that they need to get it done to. If it's your quota to make 200 calls, I'm not going to be in your office every day, but I'm going to get 200 calls in. I guarantee you that, because it's my mentality. So,
my favorite one right now is Krispy Kreme. I've had relationships with 24 Hour Fitness, 5 Guys, and but my favorite one right now is Krispy Kreme.
And why is that?
Because I like donuts, and Charles Barkley loves donuts, and he's my biggest customer. No, but Krispy Kreme is just a fabulous donut. I was introduced to it in college and been in love with it ever since. So right now, got a few franchises. I'm looking to get more. And I want to be a large part of that business.
So I was reading about your relationship with Carnival, and they called you the CFO. It was confusing because usually that's Chief Financial Officer, but for you it's a different title. What is it?
It's the Chief Fun Officer. Have you not heard?
No. Well, what?
CFO.
Oh, really?
Want to know what else? Tag, you're it. Run! It's my job to bring awareness to people about how fun Carnival Cruise Line is. I admit, I used to be a hypocrite about it. I lived across the street from the terminal, and all I saw driving by was a big ship with a bunch of windows. So I assumed It's for old people. It's boring. There's nothing to do. But I was riding around one day and I said, let me go check out one of their ships. That was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Restaurants, activities for the kids, full court basketball court, swimming pool, nightclub. Like I was amazed. So I had a meeting with Mickey and Carnival. I said, hey, I don't think the people know what you're rolling with over here. Let me be the one to tell them. Because again, when you, like back in the day, if you say cruise to me, I'm thinking, bro, no, that's for old people. I'm not doing that, but it ain't for old people. It's for everybody, and it's affordable. And I stayed at a lot of luxury plush hotels in Vegas. It's the same thing. I'm talking about the rooms, the decor, everything. It's amazing.
You know, like I was anointed to be the guy. Ever since I was little, leader, learn how to be a leader. I had no idea what leadership meant until I was in the Four Seasons on Doheny one day, and a guy gave me a book by John C. Maxwell, and it just talked about leadership. And I read that book, and I was like, oh my God. So I just started, applying those certain things, and I was shacking up a little things. But as the leader, it's my job to go upstairs and be like, hey, you got me and Kobe. They're saying we the best, but we've been getting swept every year. Horace Grant is, I talked to Horace myself. He said he's ready to come. So can we make a move to get, I wouldn't go upstairs and go, give me Horace Grant, I'm leaving. I'm like, hey, we need Horace. Like we'd sit down and have conversations. And Jerry West was the best guy to have a conversation with because he hated losing.
The name of the game of anything you do big, you're gonna go through rejections and public losses. Us salespeople, when a person says no to us, two people saw us, the customer and maybe their spouse, right? When you guys lose, tens of millions of people see you losing on TV and you're written about and your friends text you, I can't believe you lost, bro, it's all good, it's gonna be great, all this stuff. How do you handle public humiliation, a public loss, and rejection?
Well, you have to accept the truths. Most of the time we lost, it was my fault. I accept it like a man. I don't run from it, I don't hide from it. I know what I had to do to make sure we got to the next level. Like I don't mind criticism, because when you grow up with a drill sergeant, everything's not nice. So I'm used to it, so I'm programmed. But my father always used to say, don't listen to how I say it, just listen to what I say. So when you criticize and humiliate me, I'll read it. Oh, that's not true. I blow it off. If it's a little true, I try to fix the problem. That's all, because I'm not sensitive.
Because you're not sensitive.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So
and everyone has an opinion, and when you respect people like I do, I respect your opinion. If I don't agree with your opinion, I'll just sideswipe you to the right like I'm on Tinder. I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that. Okay, that's what I said. So, I try not to act like I'm better than everyone else. We're all human. Some people are up here, some people up here, but we're all human.
What was your first investment?
My first big investment, I want to say it was Google. I mean, I had a lot of little minor investments that people would come and say, "Hey, we're gonna do some pinstripe jackets with the
crest?
Yeah, with the King of England crest. People are gonna like it. You give me 100,000, I'll give you $1 million in a year." I did a lot of stuff like that never worked out. So one day I'm sitting playing at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I hear these two gentlemen talking about Google search engines, and one day your phone's gonna be this, and you type anything and it comes up, and I was like, say that again? Oh, hey, how you doing, Shaq? Come over here, listen to this. Boom, 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 boom. If I would like to invest in this. My guy hooked it up and we invested, and then I forgot all about it. And then I read the article, and everybody else read the article about the big hit that some of the early investors received. When you look at the perfect pictures, it looks like I'm at home saying, do this, do that, do that. It ain't. It's just, being in the right place in time and just, and just opportunities coming. So,
but you still have to have a skill for being able to weigh those opportunities. How do you know who to trust?
My skill is if something comes across my desk and I don't believe in it, I won't even look at it at all. So
it's just a gut feeling.
No, it's just one, I can't lie to the people, right? And two, yes, a gut feeling. Like my favorite story, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but after my first championship, Wheaties. My people say, hey man, why don't you be on the cover of Wheaties? I said, I can't do that. They said, what do you mean, brother? Breakfast champions? I said, don't know what it tastes like, never gonna taste it. What do you mean? I said, well, Frosted Flakes will always be my first option if you want to talk cereal business with me. Then Fruit Loops, then Fruity Pebbles. Period. There ain't nothing to talk about. When I do business, it's never about the monetary aspect. It's about changing people's lives, letting people, understand that, you can still have fun. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like, hey, you don't know what's on this ship. I do. Let me show you. Let me tell you. And by the way, not expensive. I know I just told you we got 50, 60 options, but guess what? This is the price. Bam. So that's what I'm doing. Now, along the way, you see an opportunity, you go back and have a conversation with them and say, you got a lot of great restaurants on here. However, people like chicken. I don't see you have a chicken spot. This is what I'm doing. Would you like to be involved? See, I never throw it. You always got to have, business conversation with them. So I'm launching my first big chicken in 2020 on the ship Radiance. That's going to be our first one. But again, like whenever I do business, it's not about the money. I heard Jeff Bezos say one time when he was talking, he said he makes his investment based on if it's going to change people's lives. And once I started doing that strategy, I think I probably quadrupled what I'm worth now.